were the pinnacle of a long-standing and ever-building racial tension in Los Angeles. A recent report from 2008 shows that blacks stopped by LAPD officers are 127% more likely to be frisked and 76% more likely to be searched than whites that are stopped. And to drive the point home, the report also shows that blacks were 42.3% less likely to be found with a weapon, 25% less likely to be found with drugs, and 33% less likely to be found with other contraband than whites that are stopped. The 1992 Los Angeles riots were a saddening reminder that though they are equal by law, African Americans are still denied their rights to social equality, and there is no telling when the next unfortunate racial outcry will occur.
On October 22nd, a local man of law was interviewed. His full name shall not be mentioned for safety reasons, but shall be referred by his first name only. Agent Felipe is a fugitive recovery agent working for a private company and is located in the Bay Area. His job is to investigate people with warrants and arrest them, so his work differs from that of a typical field police officer who deals with suspects on a daily basis. The purpose of the interview was to understand the perspective of the law enforcer, because most of the opinions and retorts that segue through the media are sourced from the general public. For instance, what we see on the news is composed by far of coverages taking in the perspective of the victims and witnesses in a community, and it is very rarely that the opinion or perspective of a law enforcement officer is taken into consideration. So, by the end of the interview, Agent Felipe's perspective allows us to understand the other side of the coin. He was first questioned about what he considered as police brutality. He explained that force is considered an act of police brutality when it becomes absolutely excessive. However, the community may think of the use of some force on a suspect as police brutality, but in the eyes of the officer, you're doing your job. Only those who resist are met with resistance, because by the end of the day, police officers want to return to their family. He was then questioned with whether or not there is a direct relationship with race and arrestment. He answered that it all depends on who it is and the demographics of the area. For instance, 25 out of 30 cases in Eastside San Jose are of Latino origin, and this does not mean that they were arrested because they were of Hispanic descent. In Oakland, the majority is by far Black or Hispanic, and thus explains the correlation between race and arrestment. For instance, whenever there is a broadcast in channels like CNN, ABC, Fox News, amongst others, of yet another Black male being arrested for some crime, it's arguably reasonable because it's more probable for a criminal to be a representative of the majority. He concluded that before a direct judgment is made for a race-based arrestment, the geographic demographics must also be taken into account. He was then asked to express his personal opinion on the Rodney King and Oscar Grant incidents. He answered, quote, "One bad batch of apples makes the entire agency look bad, but not all officers are the same," end quote. For the Rodney King incident, there is no doubt in his mind that it was definitely police brutality. However, the Oscar Grant incidents in particular were interesting to Agent Felipe because, to him, there is a discrepancy of whether or not he did it on purpose. In the officer's defense, considering his own experience and understanding of what police officers go through, accidents do happen. He reasoned that he must have taken out the gun to intimidate the suspects, and in the moment of pointing it at Grant, he shot him point blank, ending his life. In addition, he said that officers are not robots, they are imperfect human beings. Finally, Agent Felipe was asked whether or not he believes it a reasonable claim to say that police brutality is directly related to racism. He stated that the general view of the public is that racism and police brutality are closely related, but it must be noted that there could be a manifold of misinterpretations that are largely shaped by the media as well. In his opinion, unless one is a police officer, one shouldn't place his or her input because the perspective of the law enforcer is not taken into account. Henceforth, Agent Felipe reveals to us the perspective of a law enforcer.
I don't have anything against white people. Okay, we're all free to opinions. People with good hearts I don't judge by color, because I feel that I'll be just like the man that's judging me and putting the foot down on me. I don't judge. I judge the person that stabbed me in my back. If you white, Chinese, Ecuadorian, Hankuku, I'm gonna take that knife out and stick it back in your chest. Now that's the way I feel, okay? And to all, there is a major amount of white people that keep a prejudice barricade. And that prejudice barricade keeps us all from being together as one. Now, go ahead, Pop.
All right, this is what I want to say. I want to say, as far as hating white people or whatever, I don't hate all white people, but it's safe to assume, because of history, that all white people are out to get you. It's just, that's safe. It's like, and they say that the best teacher of the future is the past. If in the past all these white men was doing all this stuff to me, it'd be dumb for me to be thinking he my friend and come and hug him and embrace him, because then I'm giving him the chance to kill me. As a black man in this society and knowing how things are going on, it's safe for you to assume that any man, that white man is out to get you. See, it's nothing wrong with being prejudiced, because we all prejudge. You prejudge food before you eat it. You know what I mean? When you want to go to the store, you prejudge the outfit before you put it on. You see what I'm saying? So it's safe to prejudge. You have to know that every brother is not a brother and every other is not an other, but you must know who your enemy is. And on a major scale, on a worldwide scale, the white man is my enemy. So any white man that I see, I have to assume that he out to get me until he does something that proves otherwise.